Random Science class. This is another day of AMI. I thought I'd make a video and show you some experiments and labs that we were going to do in class. Things that you can actually do at home, or you could simply watch the video and then answer the questions at the end. Make sure that you submit after watching the video. Lab number 1, color disc lab. You're going to need some of the following materials. I have actually a few things here that you could get or use. I have several options here. I have an index card right here. I have cardstock. I also have a regular sheet of paper. You're going to need something that's round like a cup or something that you can trace to make a circle. You're going to need something like pins, thumbtack, a toothpick, something to be able to poke a hole through your piece of paper. You're going to need 3 colors. You're going to need green, red, and blue, and a pencil. Or you could use markers or crayons or whatever color material that you have. You can also get a ruler and a protractor if you have one, but they're not absolutely necessary for this particular lab. They're just useful in the long run. You can also have another option, which is you could actually use a spinner as part of your lab today, and we're going to show that today with the spinner as well. It's not required to have that spinner there, but you can. And you'll also need some tape if you're going to use the spinner. So I'm going to show you that as well. It's going to be a pretty neat thing. Let's learn how to make this first object here. I've chosen the different items that I showed you from before. I've chosen the pot, the 3 pencils, and then obviously the pen, a tack, a ruler, and a protractor. So what you're going to do is take your cardstock. That's what I'm using, this cardstock, and I'm using this pot here as my guide. I simply lay it on here, and then I'm going to trace a circle. Once I've traced the circle, I want to add 3 lines dividing this into thirds, dividing this circle into thirds, which will look just like this. I did that by simply finding the center, by measuring across, and then dividing that number by 2, and it helped me to find the center. Then I used the protractor to measure out 120 degrees. Now 360 is the distance around a circle, and so I used 1/3 of each one, which was 120. Now if you don't have a protractor, you can just kind of eyeball it if you need to. That way you can still make this 3-part circle. Once you do that, you take your green pencil, and on the top here side you're going to do green, then blue, then red. I would actually color it before I cut it out, cut that circle out. It's a lot easier to color in if you don't do that first, if you don't cut it out first. And when you're done, you should have an object that looks sort of like this. Now, you take your little stick pin here and you poke a hole right in the center. Right in the center, right there. Then you take your little stick pin or whatever device you're using, and then you hold on to it like this, and then you spin it around like this in a circle. And you go as fast as you possibly can. I want you to look at the colors as they change and as they become different. If you don't have a tack, you can use a stick pin like this. You could even use a toothpick if you can get it to spin fast enough. In fact, the toothpick you might want to keep still, then you could just twist it in your fingers. For example, I can turn this very quickly and you can kind of see it. If you do a toothpick, you can shove it in the back like this. And if it stays stiff, you can simply turn it. You could even kind of glue it or tape it into place on the back and then spin it very quickly like that to kind of help you see those changes. Now, the thing I wanted to try today is to use this on a spinner. So let's try it. I have a little white spinner right here, as you can see. It has the 2 spaces here to hold on to, obviously, so it'll spin, but that's going to hinder me in our process today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off one of these sides, and I'm going to use the fatter of the 2 sides to lay it down here. To hold it in place, I'm going to use some sticky tack, which I happen to have right here. So I'm going to take a little bit of the sticky tack. You can use tape. I wouldn't glue it to anything, that's for sure, unless you're planning on throwing that object away that you're going to glue it to. I'm going to just place it on the bottom like this to kind of hold it into place where I can spin it on the table without having to pick it up. Now, I'm going to place this as best I can in the center of this and then spin it. And then I'm going to record me spinning it from the surface down so you can see it more clearly. But I'm going to take little pieces of sticky tack here. You can use tape if you don't have sticky tack. If you're kind of crazy and you want to use gum, that'd be kind of weird, but sticky tack is going to work for me. Glue would, you could try gluing it too, but then you're going to have to pull it off, which is going to be kind of a mess. Like I said, I'm going to try to place this as best I can in the exact center. I can kind of see through that hole, which is good. All right, then I can take my pencil and spin it. In just a minute, I'm going to show you what it looks like with the camera, spinning it using the spinner. All right, so this is an aerial view, and hopefully this camera will show you what I'm trying to get you to see. It might be easier to see it in person because the eye is different than video. So let's take a look. You might notice that the colors look a little whiter, a little lighter. In fact, around the edge it looks like white. And you read in our description after you finish the video, it has a description of why this might be happening. For lab number 2, we're going to need a strong flashlight and a CD. Alright, now that we've completed lab demonstration number 1, let's look at lab demonstration number 2. Once we have our CD and our big flashlight, all we need to do now is enter a dark room and shine the light on the CD. So let's do that. Let's walk into my classroom here. You know, that's a pretty dark place now. Alright, as you can see, it's completely dark. However, if I shine the light onto the CD, we see a very cool rainbow on the ceiling here. Pretty neat, right? This is a fun thing to do because you can see all the colors of the rainbow, and they are beautiful. And they are very bright. You can see all the red, yellow, orange, blue, indigo, and violet. Cool, right? Equipment we'll need for Lab 3, Clear Fingernail Polish Rainbow Prism Art Lab, is a paper towel, a white colored pencil, clear fingernail polish, it must be clear, black construction paper, at least 1/4 of the sheet. And we need a bucket that's able to hold 2 inches of water and is wide enough for your black piece of paper. Now that we've done lab number 2, let's look at lab number 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this square of construction paper here. I'm going to write my name on there to show that this is my art. There you go, there's my name. Now I'm simply going to dunk it in the water here, let it absorb some of the water. Hopefully it will stay at the bottom. There's an extra paper towel here that I set so that I could blot my hands if I need to. I'm now going to take this clear fingernail polish and I'm going to pick it up, try to have without touching the sides out here. Then I'm going to reach down in here and I'm going to grab the piece of paper by the corner and I'm going to pick it up, the little prism here, just like this. And I'm going to place it on the paper towel. Alright, let's do that again, but this time let's do an aerial view. Again, I have our paper here. I'm going to write my name on it. I'm then going to place it down into the water like this. Drop 1 dot on top of it, slide it underneath there really well, grab it by the corner, and pick it up like this, so that you have a beautiful little rainbow prism art right there on your paper. You place it onto a small piece of paper towel, and then you let it dry overnight. Here are a few that I did earlier. As you can see, they look pretty cool. In fact, this one here over on the end is one that's completely dried. By now you have finished watching the video, and you can watch it several more times if you want to. You can even try the experiments for yourself. Go ahead and submit, and then go back to the text. Go ahead and read the 3 different paragraphs that kind of tell you the science behind what we did today, so that you can better understand, how this relates to light and how it relates to how light is affecting matter and in your own eyes. Also, make sure that you answer the questions afterwards. I hope you enjoyed this video and that we'll get to see each other very soon. Goodbye, guys.